cat name.
His real name is Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
We call him Jane.
Oh, it's me on a podcast all on my own?
It's working.
Has it been recording this whole time?
I don't know. It's going.
How many seconds
Hello,
in
Ben.
are you? Hello. Wow, it's been a minute since we heard that theme song, huh?
The
George Street Shuffle.
It's actually not that anymore.
It is the George Street Shuffle in my heart.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborne. First, we attack his heart.
And in my mind.
All right. Well, you're wrong, but that's okay.
Why haven't we, Marshall? I know that we're kicking the show back off again, but why haven't we had a fun name for these shows when we're apart from each other? Probably because we haven't actually had one. When you're in Colombia and I'm here, and maybe we should call this something, Cinema Lounge International Edition.
I think that we did that when I did an episode with Laura that one time.
Oh,
If we go further back enough, I don't know what I called it. That was before F the Oscars. I guess this is a sort of an F the Oscars since the Oscars are next week.
oh my gosh, time flies when you're having fun.
So much fun. Well, the point is we're back. Thanks everyone for being here.
We're
whoever
back.
you are.
We're back.
We're glad
baby.
to be back. We tried to do an episode on The Exorcist, and in beautiful Exorcist form, it did in fact corrupt and not work. So
Yep.
that's fun.
Real demon shiz.
I'm really happy about it, honestly. I feel it was a really rough episode. I enjoyed it, but it's kind of delightful to me that the first episode that we have to truly be like a lost, corrupted, jankified episode is one about The Exorcist, a movie that notoriously had like corrupted, janky, weird stuff happening on set constantly.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Now we're not allowed to do that episode ever again. Like, it must remain. I don't want to touch it again. I don't want to die. I don't want to get that bad juju.
I feel like we can do it again. We have to wait long enough that we forget the things that we said.
Correct. This is good.
I have my notes still, so I
We
won't
could
even
watch
rewatch
it together,
it.
too. You know what? Next Halloween. Why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
The Halloween.
Well,
Will you be back in town around then? Will we be able to live in the same city again?
yeah, hopefully mid-April. So it
Let's
should
go.
be mid to late April. We'll see.
Let's go.
And that's part of what we're here to talk about. We are back with the show. We're going to be hopefully keeping it up. That's my plan, at least.
Big news. Wait, let's clickbait this title.
Yes.
Not something stupid like Cinema Lounge chat episode. No, this has got to be like you won't believe the news.
9 out of 10 doctors don't believe the news.
It's true.
Dentists hate them.
It's true. Find out their secret by following this link. Sorry, what's the news though? Wait, why are we here? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so we're going to keep doing the show. We're getting back on top of it. I've missed doing the show. Ben misses doing the show. We both miss doing the show. We're nodding in agreement. I'm not holding a gun to anyone's head when I say that.
No guns here.
Definitely
Just
not.
the life of my family.
Exactly. But yeah, we are probably going to go bi-weekly, or we're going to go bi-weekly again like it used to be for a while, just because we're in a busy period. Ben has his little baby, and that's wonderful, and we love the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded sarcastic. I do love the little baby. She's wonderful.
Whom you have not met.
I have.
You need to meet her in person.
I have.
What?
I literally, the picture that I have on my my cover for this episode is the picture of us at pizza.
Oh my gosh, you have! I brought her to
Yeah.
eat pizza with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's much improved. She's
had a few firmware updates.
As the life form, yeah. Yeah. For real though, I mean, she had like a food allergy and
She doesn't have allergies anymore. It
Well,
just went away.
I mean, we figured out the right formula to give her, and I mean, I love her just the same as I did. Maybe not though. I don't know.
Less?
Can't you No, more is what I was thinking. You know, like one of those things that you just love it the more you're around it. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
The more I'm around things and people, the more I hate them.
That's because you're introverted and don't like people.
That's true. It's not true. That's not true. I like people sometimes.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, the point is we're going to be going bi-weekly again for a while until me and Laura are in the States and we can kind of get settled into a routine there, figure out what day of the week works to do the show and everything like that, because then it'll be like actually in person again, which requires going to a different place, which is more difficult for you at that point. So there's all kinds of moving pieces that'll be introduced. So we're just going to stick with bi-weekly unless we need to do some special... Dune just released. Do a special episode. I don't know.
Marshall, what are movies like in Colombia?
What do you mean?
What's the experience of going to a movie theater like? Is it the same? Is it different? It's
mostly the same. It's mostly the same, except there are many IMAX theaters here in Bogota.
There are or are not? What?
Many. There are.
Oh, there are. Oh, fun.
Yeah, plenty. I mean, it's a big city.
Yeah, right.
It's basically the same though. You know, you go and you get your concessions and then you go and sit in your seats and you watch the movie. There's different kinds of concessions foods.
Okay.
There's Juan Valdez, the coffee shop, is in almost every single theater.
Whoa.
There's pizza. There's sushi at the one that we go to.
Okay.
I've never tried the sushi. I don't know that I want to.
Wow.
But maybe I have to. I don't know.
You should. Yeah, why not? Maybe like final week sort of situation. No, that'd be horrible.
The
You want to time it so that
sushi.
everything can clear out of your system before you're on the airplane. You don't want
I
any
think I'm going to save my final week money for going to all of my favorite places.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Than movie theater sushi. Nah, it's probably fine. You should do it.
Hot dogs are also really big here. Hot dogs are big in Colombia. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, there's hot dog restaurants. There's places that are just for hot dogs. They're everywhere.
I mean, like, that makes sense to me. It's just I wasn't picturing Bogota as, like...
Me either.
A hotbed of hot dogs.
Right? I don't get it.
Fascinating.
So you can get
a hot dog in the theater? Hell
yeah. Yeah, and they put ketchup and mustard and mayo.
Oh, yeah. I'm into that.
Like these little crunchy things that go on top.
Do you know what they are?
Some kind of like stick form potato chips. I don't really know how to describe it.
Okay.
I can probably try to find it at Lobo Mex or something when I get back to the States and I can make you Colombian hot dogs.
Okay, please.
Like Laura really loves hot dogs. Like she was like, I'm craving hot dogs. Yeah, we had to
you
go get
hang
a hot
on
dog.
to her. She's cool.
But I don't want one. I don't want a hot dog. I want a pizza or something.
Well, whatever. Okay,
can I tell you about tight news?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So speaking of X-Files, there's an X-Files reboot in the works.
Really?
We talked about this briefly on the show before. It's being done by Ryan Coogler, who did the first two Creed movies.
Oh, yeah.
And as well as Black Panther and other things that I can't remember because I'm dumb. But he's making it, and the guy who created the X-Files has talked to him, and apparently he thinks that it's going to be pretty good.
Cool. Well, that's
cool.
Is he like contractually obligated to say that?
No, he's not involved in it at all. He's just met with Coogler because presumably he wanted to talk to him about what makes the X-Files good and what's the great thing about the show and like how do you make a show like that that's like kind of like a Law and Order show but also much more difficult to write because it's like sci-fi and monster of the week. It's not just this person got murdered and how did that happen. It's this creature is a creature. Why is it that way? What does it do? How do we catch it? What's the problem with like it's so much more confusing than that. Wow. His words, not mine. So I don't know. I really love the X-Files. I was binging the entire series a while back, and I'm like most of the way through it at this point.
Good for you.
So I don't know. I want it to be good.
It's on the reruns all the time recently. I don't know what was it on the side. I've been super shocked. Like maybe just because I'm more aware of it because you and I have talked about it, and every time I'm like I should watch that. So I'll pick up like 5 minutes of it halfway through the show, and it just makes no sense whatsoever.
Do you want to know my next piece of news?
Please do.
So in the continuing saga of Coyote versus Acme, maybe being just fully deleted from existence, you're not aware of this?
No. What the frick?
Okay, so let me start from the beginning. Side note, I got Laura on Letterboxd. Do you know this? Because I sent her your profile and she followed you. It was very funny.
Yeah, for listeners who don't know, Letterboxd is Goodreads, but for movies.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And she's just going through lists now and logging stuff. She's addicted to it the same way that everyone is when they first get it. And every once in a while, she's out there in the other room. She keeps texting me pictures of, as she's going through these lists, my ratings of her favorite movies. And she's like, how dare you? Like,
That's
you gave
very
Mulan
funny.
a 3?
That's
like,
very funny.
yes. Marley and Me has a 2?
Wow.
Yes. So she just texted me, excuse me? So Coyote vs. Acme is a movie that was fully made. This is a long thing in the saga of Warner Brothers having movies, slapping them into the garbage can for tax write-off. This happened to Batgirl. This happens to several different projects, to the point where like Congress is even looking into it as like fraud, because they're fully making these movies and then just getting rid of them.
Oh, I see.
So Coyote vs. Acme is the biggest one of these as of late, because it, unlike Batgirl, which still needed some post and stuff like that, Coyote vs. Acme is finished. Like, it is 100% done. The movie, you could watch the movie right now if they put it on the internet. If someone leaked it, you could watch it in its completely finished state.
Whoa,
And
Will Forte was Wile E. Coyote? And John Cena?
Will Forte is a lawyer. He's the main character of the movie.
Oh.
Wile E. Coyote is so this is basically, it's like Coyote, it's being just canceled, fully deleted from existence. Like, it's not going anywhere. They were supposedly, Warner Brothers was supposedly shopping it out to different studios, but then it came out that they maybe never even intended to actually sell it. They were just trying to get good PR, and the number that they were asking was like astronomically high. So now it's coming out. I don't remember who it was, but some notable person has seen it. They went to a test screening, early test screenings, because movies have test screenings. There are people who have seen this movie, and they were wildly positive. Like, people loved it.
Oh,
it's not
really?
a bad movie. Like, Batgirl supposedly was not good. And now, Will Forte just put out a statement, this long thing about, like, he heard that it was happening and thought, well, I guess it must be bad. And then he had a chance to see it. And he was like, no, this is phenomenal. This is actually great.
That is
and
shocking.
Tell me how! The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
broken for all the people involved, and I'm disgusted by what's happening here. Like, from Funny Man Will Forte. Like, he put a big statement out on Twitter, and you should read it when you have a chance. It's really good. And now, the craziest thing in this whole saga is that the full story of the movie has now leaked. The entire story outline. I posted it in the movie chat in Discord. You can find it there.
Okay.
And our personal Discord, not the Cinema Lounge Discord. Sorry, everyone. And I read a good chunk of it. It seems super good. It seems
Let me
super
guess.
fun.
Is there something where along the lines of it's giving us a reason to like feel bad for the coyote of like he's been wronged by the situation and he deserves
to a certain degree, because it's
deserves a
Acme's
payment?
fault.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, is that
whoa.
he's going to court. So he, like, something happens, like Peter Lorre, dead actor Peter Lorre, specifically actually him, does something that, like, messes with Acme products. So the coyote's been using janky products all of these years. And he sees one of those ads of, like, if you've done this, then you might be liable for, or whatever, for able to get compensation. And he goes to this firm, and Will Forte is the down-on-his-luck lawyer.
Gotcha.
And then they take Acme to court.
like injury
And it's this-
law kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's this animation, 2D animation, live-action mix like Roger Rabbit or like Looney Tunes Back in Action. It's not the weird 3D animated stuff of Space Jam 2. Like, it looks good. There's nothing about this that looks bad. And I'm seriously going to be so frustrated if this never gets released. I don't know. I'm really on the line between thinking that David Zaslav is actually an idiot, or this is a giant PR stunt to try to get a billion people to see the movie when they eventually do put it out Snyder Cut style. I don't know. It's great.
Fascinating.
You want my next
Okay.
piece of news? I got
Sure.
a few more.
Wow.
We can run
Okay.
through them really
Yeah,
fast.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Posters are being released for the Fallout TV show, based on the Fallout video game. It's going to be showing its first episode at South by Southwest.
Okay.
Which is coming up pretty soon. And it
Wow,
looks really good.
Lots
Trailer
of
looks
Fallout
great.
stuff happening right now. There's a Fallout collaboration with Magic the Gathering.
There is.
There's some, they have this whole thing called Universes Beyond, where they go into other IPs, and the way they make it work in the game lore is that you're going to multiple planes, multiple like planes of existence.
747,
yeah,
737,
yeah, exactly.
biplane,
Yeah.
Mustang.
Oh, that kind of plane, right? Yeah. But yeah, except the doors don't fall off of these ones.
Oh,
Hey,
hey-oh, hey-oh, ay. Speaking of Fallout,
yeah.
keep going.
The iPhone.
Did I send you that video? Did I show you that?
No. What's
Oh, there's
a meme? Someone falls out of an airplane? That's not funny, Marshall.
No. In Fallout New Vegas, there's a guy doing stand-up comedy on like, whatever strip it is.
I've heard that it's legitimately funny.
It's
But,
so funny because he's doing these bad 1960s, 1950s jokes of like, oh man, I went on vacation with my wife. It was wonderful. I go twice a year to, I left her there or whatever. And then after every single line, he's like, ay, or ha ta ta. And it's like,
My wife and I know the secret to a happy marriage. 2 times a week, we go to a nice restaurant. She goes Mondays, I go Fridays. I told my wife, she's good looking for a ghoul. It's just too bad she's not a ghoul. Ay. I know a guy, his motto is love thy neighbor. He lives next to a brothel. Oh no. I've been in love with the same woman for 17 years. If my wife ever finds out, she'll kill me. No! I had dinner at the Ultra Lux the other night. I told them my steak tastes funny. They said it was a clown. I ate a person.
yeah, it's going to be on Amazon, which gives me hope because they keep making really good TV shows. I think it looks good. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. It looks really fun to me. Cool. It seems like the very classic formula. It's not adapting any of the games specifically.
Gotcha.
But there are elements in there.
Well,
of
also
different
that's just
pieces
how
of
the
that.
games work too. Don't the games take place at different points of time after the big war?
After the bombs, after
Yeah,
2077.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or 2277, I think. I don't remember. But they're all different points in history, like different hundreds of years apart from each other, and the continuity makes no sense because of that. Like,
Perfect.
it's kind of funny, but it's fine. I think it looks good,
Sweet.
and I give it 1 star.
Great.
Out of
Great. Out
1 star.
2. Great.
Out of 2 1 stars. Next piece of tight news: new Disney live action boss,
Oh, no.
David Greenbaum, reportedly pitched his approach to green lighting projects as one question. Can you guess what the question is?
To decide whether or not the question is whether or not they're going to greenlight them.
Yeah.
Is there a role for Dwayne the Rock Johnson? No, that can't be it.
Wow.
It must be.
That would be good.
Is it not? Is it not a question of money? Is that must be all it is? Is this profitable?
No.
Is the question
is-
go ahead. I'll give up.
Does this film need to exist?
And he's been saying yes to
Well, this is
any
a new
of that?
approach. This is a new approach, apparently.
Oh, thank God.
I think does this film need to exist is a good approach because a lot of time these live action things kind of feel a little bit like they are looking down at animation as a medium. Like it's not really valid as an art form because, well, the animation isn't good enough. We have to make a live action version. You don't have like live action movie. We don't have the animated Shawshank Redemption remake, you know. But if this thing was animated before, for instance, Avatar, The Last Airbender,
Yeah.
well, that was all fine and well. We liked that. That was cool. That's great. But what if it was real people and that makes it something that actually we can care about now? It's like, no, like it's good enough on its own. We have the bad Shyamalan movie already and we want to do this a second time.
I don't know. Don't you feel like humans can connect with the audience in a different way though? Like from even a great animated show that like as an art form isn't the way that connects with an audience different than like to be able to pull it off? Just different than animated, or what do you think?
It is, and I think that that's part of why things work so well in animation and don't then translate well to live action. Because animation is a completely different medium, and it works a different way. That's why the Clone Wars works so much better in so many ways than the Star Wars prequels, which are not that much more or less mature than the Clone Wars was at any point.
Right.
Like, you take some of this stuff into live action and suddenly these space creatures and spaceships and stuff becomes much less believable. Because it's so much harder to look at that and be like, that's realistic, that looks like a real person next to that thing, and all of this fits together. The cognitive dissonance becomes so specific and so fine pointed that, I'm watching Avatar for the first time and I think, oh, this looks pretty good. And then I see a real person next to the avatars and I'm like, oh, never mind. Like, it looks really good, but I can still very much tell that's a real person and this is animated. And even in the new one, like, you can tell the difference. Whereas in animation, it all fits. Like, Star Wars The Clone Wars is all animated. Bad Batch, all animated. And some of the best Star Wars content that I've ever seen is in those shows. And you never for a moment are thinking, that tree doesn't look quite right. It looks like it's on a green screen. Because no, it's all animated. It's all there, and you just accept that. Unless the animation's bad. But that's a whole different thing. Did you see the Liam Neeson news?
No, what's that?
Did you see that
No.
Liam Neeson is going to be starring in a reboot of The Naked Gun?
No, that is
Yes.
so perfect for him.
Isn't
What?
it?
Are you kidding me?
He's so funny, and he never gets to stretch those muscles. You got to listen to him on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. He's hilarious.
I have. That one's so funny. No, that's perfectly. That's exactly the same as
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen
was a
yeah,
serious
like,
actor.
Yeah. Before Airplane, and then oh my gosh, that's so great.
I've officially watched all of the Best Picture nominees. We're about 50. I think Letterboxd says I'm like 56% through all the nominated.
Nice. Oh, there's a chart that shows
All the
you-
nominations.
shows you percentage of that.
Yeah, if you go to a list, it'll show you what percentage of the movies on the list you've watched.
Nice.
We just watched American Fiction, which is very good. I highly suggest it. It's on my Plex, so you can watch it.
Sweet.
It's really good. It's Jeffrey Wright as an author who he's black, but he doesn't write black stories. They're not like super stereotypical like gangs and drugs and stuff like that. And subsequently, his stuff
Say
is not
that
selling
word
super
again?
well at the time. Subsequently,
Subsequently,
same thing.
is it okay? Cool, great.
You want to fight?
Nah, I don't know. It's great. It's good.
Okay.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Okay. I will not be receiving any more fan mail. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and
Peace
love.
and love.
If you send it again, it's going in the bin. I love Ringo Starr. He's such a weird little freak.
I knew you would. I appreciate that. What the
But
hell?
yeah, his stuff isn't selling super well. He hasn't written a book in a long time. He's got some family drama. His mom has early onset Alzheimer's, all this different stuff. And that's very expensive. He stumbles upon this woman who wrote, played by Issa Rae, who wrote a book that is very much that kind of like stereotypical thing. It's called Wheeze from the Ghetto or something like that. And it's like super over the top stereotypical. And he's like, this is trash. This sucks. And he gets super fed up with it and eventually writes his own just as a joke to be like, look at how stupid this is. And immediately he sends it to his publisher as a joke. And then they like send it off to people just to see what happens. And they want to buy it. So it becomes this big thing about like, he sells this book under a fake name. And he's making tons of money off of it, and it's like, it's very good. It rides a weird line of nuance about like black stories and how white Americans receive them or don't receive them, and how like we, I mean, I was telling Laura, I don't remember what she said, but my response about like how these stories are important and they don't often get made and stuff like that. Like they do, that's true. But in this movie climate, you don't often see movies about just white people living their lives and having family drama and stuff like that. So how hard is it then for marginalized groups to have things of those sort, of movies of those sort, that aren't steeping into these kind of stereotypes and over-the-top situations and stuff that are so exploitative? It's I think it rides that line really well. It kind of doesn't land at certain points because it seems to be trying to do a few different things at once, but I really liked it. I think I gave it a 4 or 4.5 out of 5.
Sweet.
I really liked it.
Great. I thought the trailers for it looked awesome, so I need to check it out. I've got 6 days until the Oscars, so that's like one nominee for Best Picture a night. One in
They're good. I mean, I can tell you how I feel about all of them right now. We can make this a little F the Oscars if you want.
I could be down for that. Yeah. Go for it.
So what are the other nominees? Zone of Interest is another one of them, which is a Nazi commandant, the man in charge of Auschwitz. Basically, it's him and his family move into the house outside of Auschwitz, and it's just them and their domestic life, basically. And it's really interesting. I didn't love it. Like, it didn't quite land as well as I thought it would for me, but I really like what it's doing, like showing the cold banality of evil. Of you get just the background of this movie, the backside, not in the foreground, but in the background all the time is the camp. And you hear like the sound design of, gunshots and stuff like that as, the wife and her mother are talking about, like, you really did well for yourself. This is a nice house. What a beautiful garden and stuff like that. And meanwhile, these giant, like 10-foot concrete walls with barbed wire pointing inward, so people can't get out. They're not worried about people getting in. They're worried about people getting out. Like, it's really interesting. Cool. And just this man it's literally just like a regular family drama to a certain degree about this guy who got a good promotion, wants to stay at this promotion and not get moved around, but it's on the backdrop of Auschwitz. It's really almost dull, but that's kind of the point. Okay, I was talking about The Holdovers. Sorry, the audio exploded for a second.
You adore The Holdovers. It is a Christmas movie every
year. It's wonderful. I love it. Paul Giamatti is amazing in it as this kind of curmudgeonly professor. It has like Dead Poets Society vibes a little bit, mostly because of the setting and like the cinematography of it, more so than the subject matter. But it's really good. Like, really fantastic performances from the three leads. Super heart.
The heart, Osborne. First, we attack his heart.
Felt gorgeous cinematography. It was shot digital, but then scanned onto film.
Nice.
Like a lot of things we're doing recently. It's really good. I love it. I think in a different world, Giamatti wins Best Actor, but that's not going to happen. Next.
Cool. Zone of Interest, already talked about.
Yep.
Barbie.
Barbie's nominated for Best Picture?
Yep.
I like Barbie. We talked about Barbie on the show. Like, we have a whole episode about Barbie.
What a response.
I just couldn't remember. I was like, it is? It is very good. I like it a lot. I feel like it's more of a cultural nomination than a qualitative nomination.
Yeah. I mean,
especially after having rewatched it.
Interesting.
It feels...
Took the nation by storm.
Yeah. It feels like, when Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. Like, this is nominated because it's very notable and because it's very important, not necessarily because it's actually really, really good. I don't love Barbie. I like Barbie. I think it's really fun and really good. There's some really good stuff in there. There's some really good commentary, but it doesn't hold up compared to a lot of these other nominees, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer's great. Felt better on the second watch. I really liked it in theaters, but I like it better on my second viewing. I think on our episode I talked about how I thought the editing felt kind of jarring in the first third of it, just because it felt like they were trying to get through a lot of information really quickly. I still felt that a little bit, but not nearly as much. I don't know if that's because I knew what was happening or what was coming, but it felt better that time around, I think.
Or maybe it feels like the jarringness of it actually told the story well once you knew
maybe
the rest of the story, or
yeah,
just viewing it through different lens.
I don't know. Cillian Murphy,
cool,
fantastic, probably gonna win Best Actor, almost certainly gonna win Best Actor. Robert Downey Jr. probably gonna win Best Supporting. Next,
when you have those two, that's gonna be a good movie. Poor Things
is wild, man. Have you seen it?
I have not yet. No.
Poor Things is crazy. It's good. It's in a weird way, it's telling the same story as Barbie, but in a much more interesting way to me, a much more like nuanced way to me. Basically, Willem Dafoe is a crazy scientist, and he puts different animals together for weird experiments. His father abused him horribly, but he sees it all as lessons. It's really weird, and he has he found a woman who something happened, and he did something, and she is like a child. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil it, but she's like a child. She's an adult woman with like basically the brain of a child, essentially, and she's growing from there. And because of that, she has no sense of like shame or public decorum or anything like that. So that's just the world that she lives in, and she just takes everything as factual because she's being raised by this weird scientist. Everything is a science experiment. Everything is like, well, why is it that way? Let's look into that. And it's a really interesting look into like how the world is for women and why the world is that way, but in like the most bizarre possible form.
Perfect, fun.
Don't take your parents.
A movie not for everybody.
Certainly not. It's a lot, but it's really good. Next.
Great. Past Lives.
Past Lives is also very good. It felt like it didn't quite deliver on what it was doing, but I don't know. Past Lives is this woman, and she grew up in Korea until she was like 10 or 12, and then she moved to the States with her parents, or to Canada actually, and lost contact with this boy that she had a crush on. Whatever. Forever later, they get in contact with each other. They're talking pretty often over, at that time, Skype. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, with all the
Skype
old
really
sounds and
dropped
everything.
the ball, dude. They had it handed to them on a silver plate, and somehow Zoom became a thing.
Just showed up somehow out of nowhere.
I think it's part of
an
the
industry
conspiracy
plan.
theory we talked about earlier.
It's psyop.
Must
But they lose track of each other again, and then she meets someone, marries this man, and then this guy's like, I'm gonna come to the US. And there's no real drama of like, is she gonna leave her husband or anything? It's more just like, what is this relationship like, and what is the implications of our past lives and what this could have been, and like stuff like that. It's an interesting concept, and I definitely identified with it in a weird way because I am the white partner, and you know, there's not any kind of X like that in Laura's life, but like I am seeing how this guy is reacting and being like, no, I understand how he feels right there, of like, that is how I would probably feel in that situation. And he doesn't feel like wildly insecure because he knows that his wife loves him and all this different stuff, but there's always like this kind of weirdness to it of that situation. Obviously, it's really good. Highly suggest it. You should watch it with Kate. She'd like it probably.
Okay, great, cool. I'll check that out for sure.
Next.
Maestro.
Maestro's fine, unfortunately. Like, it's fine. I don't know. I feel like I saw someone, it might have been one of Bernstein's kids, I think, said that they watched the movie and kind of think that they learned more about Bradley Cooper than they did about their father. I don't know. It's interesting. I thought it was okay. Like, it's a portrait of the man throughout different parts of his life, but it never really is telling you anything about him or making any statements about him. It's just like, he's kind of a rascal and he has affairs, but I don't know, maybe it's fine in the end. I don't know.
Weird.
It's
weird. That's a bummer. I feel like there's a good story there to be told.
And it's not bad, but it's really just fine. It's definitely this year's like Coda or 11 Pounds. Like, it is Oscar bait movie that is just good, not amazing, but like designed to win awards. Next.
Last but not least, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Is Anatomy of a Fall not nominated? Did we not talk about Anatomy of a Fall?
Oh, did we not talk about Anatomy of a Fall? Oh, no, I skipped over it. My bad.
Okay.
Wait, no, we talked about it.
No?
Yeah, we did.
No.
Wait, what did we talk about instead when you talked about the lady from Korea?
Past Lives?
Oh, I said Past Lives and skipped Anatomy of a Fall. I see. Yes, that happened. Sorry.
Cool.
That's on me. Anatomy of a Fall. I thought this was alphabetized.
Anatomy of a Fall is fantastic. We just watched it yesterday. It's super good. It's
cool.
This woman, crazily, the same woman who plays the wife in Zone of Interest is the main character in this movie. She had an incredible year.
What?
Yeah, she's really good. She's the German husband of this French professor, and they've been having some kind of marital issues that you kind of find out eventually. They live in this cabin in the French Alps. Is that a thing? No, Swiss Alps. French,
Yeah,
France,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, the Alps are in France. Yeah,
Same
French
area.
Alps. Yeah, Swiss
And-
Alps are in Switzerland. It's all the Alps.
Mountains.
It's like saying the Colorado Alps or Colorado Rockies versus like the Nevada Rockies.
Sure, I don't know.
All
They
the
live in
same
a mountain
Rockies.
area on like
Right.
in a one of those triangle cabins, and they have their son and a dog, and their son is like partially blind.
Triangle, those trendy triangle.
You know what I'm
cabins.
talking about?
Yeah, an A-frame, I think is what it's called.
No, I like mine better.
Yeah,
It's just them three in the house and the dog, and something happens. Son goes out. Son comes back with the dog, and dad has fallen from the third story and died.
Oh my god.
So the question is,
Anatomy of a Fall. I see.
Did mom kill him, push him, or did he kill himself? And the rest of the movie is basically this court case, and it's really good.
Oh my gosh.
It's really, really good.
Sounds heavy.
Does she do it? Did she do it? You don't really ever find out. You kind of have to decide for yourself. What? It's really good. Highly suggest. And Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yep.
I think Killers of the Flower Moon takes it. I think my favorite movie of these is probably Anatomy of the Fall, but I think Killers of the Flower Moon wins. It's either Killers of the Flower Moon or Oppenheimer. I would rather Killers of the Flower Moon get it.
Wow.
Killers of the Flower Moon is fantastic. We need to do a full episode on it.
Here's the issue. I want to do a full episode on it, but I haven't seen it because I'm a history teacher and I want to read the book desperately. I have the Oppenheimer book back there on the bookshelf
Freaking
as well.
colossus of a book.
It is so thick. I think I would rather do Killers of the Flower Moon first.
It's like 27 hours long and Audible.
Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon is, or
No, Killers of the Flower Moon is an easy read.
oh yeah.
Comparatively.
I still feel like it's still like 300 pages, but.
Yeah, but American Prometheus is like 2 billion pages.
That's on my brother-in-law for saying, "Hey, you'd like this," and I said, "Yeah,
Probably would.
I'll get to that at some point." And then
I
he
really
dropped it
like
off
what
at my
I've
house
listened to.
after he finished it, and I was like, "Bro, I can't."
This took me 10 years.
Yeah, dude. So I would love to do a full-length pod with Killers of the Flower Moon after I finish the book. I think we might be doing it for our social studies book club soon. So. Anyway,
Beautiful.
yes, full-length pod would be great.
Well, that's my thoughts on the
F the Oscars.
yeah
6 days away from date of recording.
big
So,
night, the
it's crazy.
big show.
March
all the
10th,
gold of
March
Tinseltown
10th for
or something.
those who, if this, whatever. But yeah, that's good. I maybe I'll watch them all. Who knows? I honestly
We'll
am
see.
bummed that I haven't at this point because I really enjoyed going through last year when we went through the whole thing. I don't know if it was great listening material, but personally, I really enjoyed making a ballot, making voting, and then I think we tallied up the score and we were both pretty close to each other.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I think
you won by 1 point.
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think I won, but it was absolutely on accident.
And then I kept
anything.
looking at my answers, and I was like, "Why did I say that? Like that makes no sense."
I feel like honestly we talked ourselves into some weird ones just because we should fill it out beforehand, frankly.
Talk about our answers.
And talk about our answers rather than like vocalize it out loud because I think we talked ourselves into weird things.
Yeah, like
But-
this is what I like, but this is what the Academy would
this
do.
is a good point. Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe I should just trust myself.
Yeah, right.
That's a
yeah,
lesson
especially
for
now that
everyone.
we've been doing this. Yeah, we've been doing this a while. Script score cinematography won't lead you wrong. That's what I
Yeah.
say. Ugh. Well,
But that's what I have to say about that.
what do you have to say about that?
And
It's good.
I think that
It's
that's
a good thing.
a show. I think that that's a podcast.
That we somehow turned that into an hour of content. You're welcome.
It'll
America.
cut down to
You're
a little
welcome,
less than that.
America. Welcome, America. Well, cool.
You're welcome, America.
I love being back.
North and
It's so
south.
fun. Welcome back, Marshall.
Welcome back to you too, sir. Been
Thank
a good
you.
show. I think we got a good show in us. I think it's a good time, and 20 points for me and 2 for you. And
That's what I deserve because I'm
So
a
yeah,
bad
everyone.
boy.
the baddest boy. So we're gonna keep doing shows. The next show is gonna be Dune, and this episode is gonna be coming out this next Monday, whatever time that is. And then it'll be not the next week after that, but the week after that. We're doing every other week, so we're a little late on the trigger to Dune 2, but that's okay. Give you a preview. I loved it. It's really great. So yeah, that's the show, everyone. Thanks for listening. Hope you are still here and listening to the show in general. And
Yeah, now that the algorithm is not going to show you us anymore.
yeah, gotta get back on the consistency train. But yeah, you can check out all the links in the socials, the description, follow the Instagram, Discord, whatever. It's all there. Share the show with your friends. Give them your favorite episode. I thought that the Dunkirk episode, the most recent episode, as of September of 2023.
Jeez.
Yep, was really good. I really like that one. There's some fun stuff in there. Our episodes on Barbie and Oppenheimer are pretty good too. Check out all the stuff out. Thanks for listening, everyone. 20 points for everyone. 20 points for Ben. And
We're back.
We're back, baby.
You know what? If you made it this far, I'm gonna say it right now. If you made it this far, we're back, bitches. That's right.
We are back, bitches.
I cussed because if you made it this far, you're an adult.
Or a loser. Bye, everyone.
Bye.